Okay, fine. Good evening to everyone. Today's subject is MS22, which is human resource development. Fine. I hope you have a specialization on HR. So this is one of the major subject on HR. We call it as human resource development. Now let me give a brief idea to you how human resource development has joined to this management. Management was started in US in the year of 1900. It has taken around 50 to 60 years to come to India, and when management was there was general management, means people used to discuss about all the areas of the management. But the specialization of HR has come quite late in India. It has arrived in the year of around 1980, 41 years old. Because you understand earlier the departments, wherever your senior used to work, you can ask them. So the department was named as personnel department. Fine, the welfare and the formalities of the joining is to look after. And earlier days, you can see some of your seniors, if they are at home, they have joined some organization as an officer, they have just retired as an officer. They join as assistant manager, they have retired as manager. Fine. So there was no scope of career development, there was no scope of human resource development. People used to join, do their own work, and they retired accordingly. Fine. I hope the communication will be English will be better. Fine. Let us speak in English. Yeah, I'm asking you, participant. Communication in English will be fine?
Sure, sir.
Okay, okay. So late means in 80s, the human resource development has come to the area of management. So since then, the scope of this area as it was developed, because it was not merely joining a person, means recruitment and retirement and payroll and all. So human resource development is to look after the total development of the human resources, because it has been seen by the industries in a long experience. Human being means the people, those who run the organizations, they are the main resources. There are many resources in organization, in service industry and in manufacturing industry, but the main resource is the human resource. You can understand, and it's very difficult to manage this human resource. If you see that if there is a child at your home, maybe 2 to 3 years old, if you give him or her a bottle or glass of water and tell him not don't put this water into the bed, after some time if you go to other room and you come and see that she or he is putting that water in the bed. So it's very difficult to manage a 2 to 3 years old boy or girl at your home. So you can understand, if you cannot manage a kid, how you will be able to manage in the organization? Somewhere thousand, somewhere 50,000, somewhere 1 lakh, 2 lakhs people are there. If there are no regulations, there are no rules, if these are missing in the organization, then it will be very difficult to manage the manpower, because the manpower used to from multilinguistic atmosphere, multicultural atmosphere. Fine, they are from they are male and female. They belongs to the rich families and poor families. There have been many caste and creeds. So you have to understand, it's very difficult to manage the manpower. So since then, it was started that managing manpower is one of the best area, because organizational development only can be done, only it's possible if human resources are being developed in any organization. In any organization, human resource development is correlated with organizational development. That's why the training in many organizations. You may be working in some organizations, I do not know. Fine, you can understand that if you are in the HR department, you conduct certain training program in-house or from the outside expert, by which you train your manpower for the development. Development of what? Development of the individual, and the individual development will develop the organization. Fine. So that's why human resource development has taken a wide area in the organization. It has become so vital. Without human resource development, an organization cannot sustain. Let it be a small organization, let it be the biggest organization. If I talk about the example of State Bank of India, State Bank's manpower is around 3 lakhs. They are working all over India and in abroad also. Now you can understand, except some unionism or something, you can understand they're running in the time of COVID. They run in all bad times and bad days, and they are giving services to crores and crores of people. Fine. So somebody is here. After a few years, you find that manager is not there. He's somewhere else. Somewhere has got promoted. Somewhere is posted out. Always they have a chain of training by which they are developing their manpower. It's not only training. There are career development process by which when somebody will be joining, he will understand he or she will become after so many years to which position if they maintain everything, if their performance are up to the mark. You understand one lady like you, her name was Arundhati Bhattacharya. Fine. She has started her career in State Bank of India as assistant manager, provisionary officer after completion her graduation. She was not commerce, she was only Bachelor of Arts. You understand bank mainly, if I tell you what is banking, in two words it is debit and credit. But you understand the lady, or if you are arts graduate, you understand in arts, commerce, this debit and credit is not being taught. She had done her graduation in Bachelor of Arts in English Literature, what is having no concern with business or banking. But that lady, due to this human resource development process, had reached up to the level of CMD, Chairman and Managing Director, the highest post. If HRD would have not been there, she would have not become CMD of the bank. Clear? So you can understand the value of human resource development. That subject we will be discussing today. Now, what is human resource development? If you discuss, as I told you, in the management science in 1980, fine, when the HID has come, the HID has grown enormously in the last decades, means last 2 decades, or you can understand maybe from 2000 in India, every organizations have changed everything. In earlier days, the performance appraisal was being done by the boss is giving you marks by which the promotion is being done. Nowadays, organizations are changing their fashion. Sometimes your junior will give you your appraisal. You have to do self appraisal. Certain organizations have started doing 360-degree appraisal. Even the vendor will give your appraisal. So you can understand the many organizations have set up new departments. Right? The HRD department is the new department. In many PSU bank or PSU organization, personnel department is still existing. But by the side of it, there is the HRD department, not by the side of it. Under HRD department, there is a department called personnel department. The personnel department has gone under HRD department or HR department, which is called HR department. So, as we know that training is one of the parts of developing the human being. That's along with that, the experiments are being undertaken to use the performance appraisal, potential appraisal, feedback and counseling, mentoring, job rotation, organizational development intervention, career development system. Everything falls under human resource development or human resource department. Now, if I ask you what is HRD, HRD is the process of helping people to acquire competencies. Now, you understand nowadays the day has come, the competent people are being accepted. Now, you can see in case of Google, in case of Microsoft, there are several qualified people, more than qualified people than the Satya Nadella or Sundar Pichai, but they were selected to become the CEO of the organization. The background is nothing, background is their competencies. Because you understand, Sundar Pichai is from IIT Kharagpur and Satya Nadella was from Manipal, Bangalore. So these institutions, in case of world rating, they may not be within 100. There are Harvard, there are Oxford, there are MIT. Many students from those institutes, premier institutes, are working in Google and Microsoft parallelly with Satya Nadella and Sundar Pichai. But out of the whole lot, these two Indian, those who are, as far as their country, US is concerned, they are from the underdeveloped countries or developing countries. Institutions are also underdeveloped, but they are selected as the CEO of those organizations, one of the richest organizations in India. And you understand, you must be knowing their salary, how much they are getting. It is only due to their competencies, and it is only possible due to the developed HR department in Microsoft and Google, like many other organizations. Almost all the organizations having the proper HR department. In an organization context of HRD, this is a process by which the employees of an organization are helped in a continuous and planned way. The HR department has a plan. They map you. Something is called competency mapping. Fine. This is coming to India. Now it is there. It is familiar in Indian culture, Indian organizations. But it is long back it was started in outside India, means in abroad. The competency mapping of the employees. Your competence will be judged. You may be working in a department. Your qualification maybe you may be a commerce graduate. You may be a chartered accountant. You may be MBA finance. But your knack and aspiration is there in IT. So you may be changing your department from finance to IT, by which it will be seen that you will be giving more to the organization. Organization will be more profitable by your expertise, and you will also develop. You will also develop along with the organizations. So that's why this competency mapping has become very essential, and this is a part of human resource development. Now, why this human resource development? We talk about human resource development, human resource development, human resource. We call human resource development is the backbone of an organization. Organization cannot run alone without manpower, and the proper manpower is very essential, necessary. Sometimes we don't get the proper manpower at a stage, but we train them and make them like that. In my childhood days, we used to write when some paragraph comes like something like Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So we used to write that heroes are born not made. Heroes are born not made. But nowadays it's changed. The idea is changed. Now you can see that heroes can be trained, heroes can be made, leader can be made. There was a person, you must have heard his name. He was an IS officer. He was chief election commissioner. His name was T.N. Session. Who has made the Indian to understand that voter ID card is very essential. Without voter ID card, you cannot cast your vote. That gentleman, we lost him before a few years. He started one institute in Pune where he used to teach leadership. He tells that leaders can be made. So days are changing. We are also changing with the day. This is human resource development. We call change is such a thing which never changes. Means change is happening every time. We have to be changed with the system. That changing of the system, accepting the system and developing us is called human resource development. People need competencies like knowledge, attitude, values, skills to perform the work. So you can understand higher degree or quality of performance is only possible if you have knowledge, attitude, values and skills. Certain things you have with you, certain things can be given from the organization. So in the organization, those who have a developed HRD, means human resource department, they develop so faster than any other organization. Without continuous development of competence in people, an organization is not likely to achieve its goal. The main of an organization is to achieve its goal, means its objective. We call goal setting of an organization. We have to set a goal and we have to reach to the goal. Competent and motivated employees are essential for organizational survival, growth and excellence. You understand? The motivation word is very essential. And these motivational lectures, seminars, workshops, leadership courses, seminars, team building courses, seminars are being conducted to the organizations now drastically. I know quite few organizations in Kolkata, those who are continuously training their manpower, may not be for a long period of time, but for it is a crash course like team building, leadership, and at the same time the knowledge of the product as they belong to the group of that organization. So there are certain mechanism of HRD, human resource development, certain processes, certain outcome, what we have to follow. So HRD should be a continuous process in an organization. So it's not like that we do this development for this year, we will not do it in the next year. No, it will be a continuous process. Certain things is continuous. It is not one time. You may be recruited in an organization for one time, but your development will be continuous and that should sustain. It's not like that. In the year of 2018, you worked like anything in your organization. Your performance was, if it is a 5-point scale, 1 to 5, 5 is highest, your scale, it was 5 out of 5. You cannot sell this 5 out of 5 in the next year. It was 2019, 20 or 21. Sir, my performance in 2018 was excellent, 5 out of 5. Now, when it is 19, again your performance will be judged. So that's why it is called, it's a continuous process. You have to sustain your development. That's why human resource development has taken a great part here. The nature of efforts and investment put into develop the human resources may vary from organization to organization depending on its need, nature and size of the organization. This may vary from time to time. Now you can understand, before this COVID, all this development and training program was offline, where the faculties, the instructors, the trainers and the participants used to interact with each other. But when it was changed, it was a shock for all the organizations how we can train our manpower, how to give him the message. So naturally, within a very short time, they have changed over and make it online, by which now the online training is being conducted in many organizations. You think about IGNOU. It is one of the biggest university. It has been done in the 33 countries in the world. So we used to take the class offline. An ample of classes used to happen in a subject. But anyway, due to this COVID and due to many administrative problems, lastly but not very late, they have started these online classes. We may not in this short time, we won't be able to tell you everything in details, because as far as MS22 is concerned, I have a class today and I have a class tomorrow. That's all, 2 classes. But at least the outline of the subject, if is known to you, you senior people, I hope you all are working employees, working students. You will have an outer idea of the subject by which you can put your views, you can write, you can understand. So that mechanism has to be followed. Without the mechanism of HID, it is not possible to implement. The objective of the HID effort is to build human competences, to build a climate, and to improve the employee satisfaction with work, that is competency development, climate building, and innovation development. So you can understand this is very necessary, that competency building is very much necessary. As the organization wants, you have to be like that. What the organization demands, you have to be like that. You can understand, we go to several restaurants. The restaurant, we go to 2 restaurants, restaurant X and restaurant Y. And after coming out from X and Y, maybe in several days, we understand X is much better than Y. As X is giving us food after ordering, it's taking 15 to 20 minutes, but Y is taking more than 1 hour. The quality of food in case of X is good, Y is not good. The quantity of food, Y is giving more, X is not giving more, but it is up to the mark. So comparing these two, you understand next time if you go, you will go to X, you will not go to Y. So like that, if it is your view and it is the view of all the customers, the day will come, X will hype, X will have better business, Y will close down. So exactly in the same way, the manpower of X were competent and the manpower of Y was not competent. Manpower of X takes 20 minutes time to serve you food after your order. Y takes more than 1 hour time to serve your order. So competencies of Y was less than X. So you can understand, same thing is happening in case of all the organization. The most frequently used development instruments are performance appraisal and training programs. Training has become the part and parcel of any organizational development. And as performance appraisal, after training or after joining to an organization, how do you do your work? That's very essential. And that is being judged by your performance. We call it as performance appraisal. If you're a working student, you must be knowing what is performance appraisal. The name of it is different from organization to organization. Some organization tell it's an ACR, annual confidential report. Someone tell us confidential review. Somebody tell review. Somebody tell performance appraisal. Somewhere the marking is 1 to 5. Somewhere it is out of 100. Somewhere it is out of 150 marks. It depends on organization to organization. Somewhere you have to appraise yourself first, then your boss. Somewhere your boss is doing it, then boss ka bhi boss. Like that, it goes to the top management. The system may be different, but the aim is same. So this is the mechanism by which the organization runs. The next will be like human resource development strategies. Strategy, the word has come from army. The army generally used to make strategy to win the war. So you can understand, in our mythology, Indian mythology, you see Lord Krishna was the strategic guru who was able to win the match fighting with 5 people against 100 people. So that's strategy. So human resource development is also having a strategy. How you take the best manpower to do your work? Who can do the best? A strategy is a course of action planned to be undertaken to achieve desired goals. Whatever you are doing, it's due to achieving the goal. You are attending the class to know little bit about the subject by which you want to pass your examination. Please mute yourself. Yeah, who has joined just now, please mute yourself. Now, what are the HRD goals? What major purposes the HRD strategy is supposed to be served? So we have to handle those questions. How the strategies we have to adapt. So every organization having its own strategy. Like if we talk about State Bank of India, as I was telling you, here we can see in the State Bank of India, when their manpower is used, today it is more than 3 lakhs. So they made a career planning, training and organizational development initiative, which all are integrated, by which the organization is getting strengthened. Every organization, small or big, it is small organizations, big organizations, always they make a career planning, because that is very much essential for them. Without career planning, employees cannot sustain. Employee will be joining and leaving if they understand my career in the organization is not good. My expectation will not be fulfilled. And it happened in case of State Bank of India. That's why they changed their strategies. Today's Axis Bank, earlier it was UTI, and UTI was formed by State Bank of India and employees, managers. They left SBI, joined UTI. 80% of the manpower of UTI was ex-SBI, and they formed and made UTI successful. From UTI, it is Axis today. So organization understand, if you are not able to fulfill the desire of my employees, so they will leave us, and again you have to recruit new employees and train them. It will take long time. Same thing is happening in case of SAIL and Tata Steel. SAIL is Steel Authority of India Limited. Many employees from SAIL are leaving and joining Tata Steel because they understand the satisfaction is more in Tata than SAIL. So this is the way how it's going. And one thing I'll tell you, there is no much time to discuss case studies. Fine. You may find it will be in your booklet if you get it online or offline. Fine. Or else also through Google you can search for certain case studies. Case studies are very essential to learn management well. Fine. Cases are the samples which you will be reading like a story. There will be certain questionnaire. You have to answer it. While attempting the case study, you have to understand you should be, your view, your answer should be thinking that you are the representative of the organization. Somewhere in the case study, you will find that some manager was sacked. So what you do emotionally is you put yourself there and you think that if I am getting sacked, what will be my mentality? So you write favoring that manager, favoring that employee. No. While writing the case studies, what you have to do is, in case of term and exams also, you have to be the representative of the organizations. You have to understand if things happening like this, if somebody is joining newly or somebody is getting sacked or somebody's salary is being hiked or somebody's salary is putting down, whatever the scenario may be, what will be the benefit of the organization? Always you have to keep do it like this. We see sometimes in the answer script, you become emotional. If it is written that some manager is getting sacked, you put yourself in the same chair and you write accordingly. So that will give you negative marks. Negative marks means you will not get marks in that. In case study, always you should be the representative of the organization, favoring organizations, by which the organization gets benefited. Number one. Number two, when you used to write the assignment, in many assignment we could see that the last part of the answer or the last part of the questions you don't attempt. That makes your answer incomplete. Like it is written that you write about the organizations you are referring, or whatever the question is there, it should be associated with some organization. If you are working in an organization, if you can give example of your organization, this is the best. If not, if you are a student not working, you can ask your seniors, friends, somebody who is working about their organizations and can write accordingly. Or else you can search in Google, you can study and write. Don't leave that question unattempted, and always mind it in case of writing your term in exam also with the answer. If it is competency mapping, what is competency mapping? Write your views in competency mapping. Fine, give an example. Or if it is not there, that give an example also. Write some organization names who does competency mapping, and by doing competency mapping that has developed their organizations. Because management study is not a mugging up and writing the answer. It's not your class 10, 12 or graduation. It is a professional qualifications. So naturally, if your evaluator or wherever you are there, they want your practical knowledge. And practical knowledge comes with your case study approach. So that's why we have many case studies, but there is no much time to discuss. A case studies discussion requires more than an hour. So better I'll give you the outline of the subject by which you will understand the outer periphery of the subjects, and it will be easier for you to do it. So through human resource development, another things happen is delegations to the employees. If your employees are getting developed, then you can delegate them the job. Otherwise, you cannot delegate them the job. Something we call it as situational leadership. If you are a leader, day and night if you work, you cannot finish your job. Suppose I'll give you an example. If I ask you, it will take time. You work in any organization, XYZ, service, manufacturing, whatever it is. If you are a HR manager, because you have taken HR specialization, your interest may be in HR, or you are working in HR department. You are the manager, under you there are 5, 6, 7 staffs. Now you find that your subordinates are not up to the mark. So what do? Day and night you work. You cannot finish your work after working day and night. And you get mad, you come back home, you get agitated, you are under stress, Your MD is calling you, your boss is calling you all the time, you are under stress, and continuous stress will take you to a problem called depression. It will be a psychological disorder. So how you can get relieved? How you can make your organizations a developed organization? You have to train these 6 or 7 people are underworking you. You have to make them as you are. So what is the process? First you direct them, tell them to do the work, and you find if you direct them for 10 jobs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you will find that they'll be able to do 3, they won't be able to do 7. 30% they'll be able to do, they will be lagging on 70%. You have to coach them. You have to do coaching. If you coach them, means if you teach them on job and off job, after a few days, you find they'll pick up another 40%, not total 70%, another 40%. So 40 plus 30, 70% capable they are. Then also they are lagging 30%. They are not as you are. So what you have to do? You have to support them. While they will be working, you have to call them in front of you, or you have to go to their table and tell them, this is your mistake, in this part you do like this. If you do it continuously for a few days, you understand they can pick up that 30%. So 30 directing, 40 coaching, 30 supporting, it will be 100%. And after a few months, you can delegate him any job as you want. So they will be your Xerox copy. This is called situational leadership, by which you can rely them, you can be dependent on them. If you take few days leave, you can enjoy your leave or vacation, and you understand you need not to be sleepless, you need not to be there for hours together. These people will be able to do the work. And next is career development. If you do like this, their career will also be developed. When they will get a promotions, you will be getting also a promotions, because under your leadership only organization is developing. So that part you must understand, how human resource development is essential in any organization you are working or you are associated. So this is very much essential. These are the experiences in case of human resource development department in any organization, let it be small or let it be big. The next is, there are 2 types of managers in our organization. One is line managers, one is staff managers. If I ask you a question, take your reply, and again I speak. What I am telling, time is less, so I am making only one-sided communication. So in case of line managers, what is happening is, the person who are working, like in an hospital, the doctors are line managers, the nurses are staff managers. That's why it is called nursing staff. They are supporting the doctors. In case of a bank, the branch people are line managers. The head office people, the HR department, the finance department, the IT department are staff managers. But in a recruitment consultancy or a recruitment organizations or manpower supply organizations, the HR people are the line managers, those who are working from the front. The finance people may be the staff managers. So line managers are very essential. So you have to understand in which positions you are belonging. You are a line manager or you are a staff manager. So whatever you are, the individual employee, what are the things you have to do is, you have to do self-management. First you have to manage yourself, then you will be able to manage the organizations. You have to have competency building or competence building. You have to do advancement. Earlier days accounts were being maintained in Tally. Now ERP system is there, SAP is there, you must be knowing. Exactly, in HR also, many software, many development, MIS, many things had come by which you have to develop yourself. You have to develop your role. Fine. So if you develop your role, you will be successful And at the same time, you have to develop the role of your team. And after all, you have to develop the organization at a large. And there is something we call as HRD matrix. Now, in case of HRD matrix, you have to look after the appraisal system of the organizations. You have to look after the career system, career development of the organization. You have to see the training and development part of the organization. You have to see the work atmosphere of the organization. You have to see the cultural system of the organizations. You have to do the self-renewal system, self-developmental system. This all will make the HRD a successful in your organization wherever you are working. Fine. So this will fulfill the requirement of the line manager as well as the staff managers, and this individual development will take you for the organizational development as a large. So this part you have to go through. You have to see the task, because every employee is getting a task, how he should be able to do the task. That thing also a HR manager should look into. Somewhere the finance department will give you a requisition. I want a finance executive. What will you do? You will find a BCom chap, recruit him and give him to the finance department. Finance department complain to you after a few days, this person is not able to do the job what we wanted. So what you have to do is, while taking the requisition from the finance department, you must ask them what type of expertise you want in this individual. While taking the interview, you must take a finance person also with you, by which that subject expertise he will ask to that individual. You must see the behavioral and other periphery or other areas of that individual. Then that will be all right. There are certain motivational aspect on HRD. Fine. Without motivation, HRD cannot function well. If people are engaged in work which they find challenging and worthwhile, they feel proud to be associated with such work. So you must make the employees to feel the work they are doing they should be proud of. Then they will be able to do it correctly. Otherwise, they won't be able to do the job correctly. They should do the job with pride, joy, and sense of growth. So motivation is a part of the organization. Now, role efficiency. Whatever role a person is bearing, he must be mastered in his role. Something he may be knowing, some input you have to give to them. Like self-role integration, proactivity, creativity, confrontation, fine, role centering. You have to influence them. They should have personal growth. There should be linked with one job to another job, that is mandatory. And supervision is also very essential in case of his or her development. Fine. So this is the part, these are the part of human resource development. And somewhere we see we can promote this work motivation through certain system like appraisal system, career system, training system, work system, cultural system, self-development system. These are all very essential for this organization to work forward. Fine. And the concept of the development of the supervisions, it depends on hierarchy and responsibility, task and personal growth, individual and team growth, task accomplishment, and boundary management. Everybody is having a boundary. Like if you want to construct your building, you do it inside the boundary. In case of your work also, there is a boundary. There are certain do's and don'ts. There are certain SOP, systematic operating procedure, by which you go and do the thing. So that is the way human resource development department is always in concern, and they concern about the counseling and mentoring of the employees, because an employee who is joining, he is new, you require to give him orientation program, you have to counsel them, you have to make them the path, you have to give them the area where they will be working, their specializations area. Fine. After counseling, you have to monitor him, you have to mentor him also. That's why in many organizations they started one mentoring system. A senior most person in the organizations become the mentor of few managers or few organizations or few branches. His experience, his expertise they are taking off. This is one of the latest system. It is developed, not latest, maybe 10 years back. People started doing mentoring system. Somebody is becoming mentor. Fine. With whom you can share your problem, you can share your ideas, you can share your whatever the requirement you have, your joys and your sorrows, your problems or your achievements. And he will be there to mentor you, guide you, and do it in a better way. Fine. So at a stage, I've spoken for around more than 50 minutes. So 45 minutes. So I ask you, if you have any question, you can ask me. Apurna, Arpuna, or Madhu. You want to ask me anything?
No, sir. Sir, I have a question. When our exam will be held?
Exam used to be in case of IGNOU, it will be, I think, one is in December, one is in June. Fine.
Center of
Yeah, that you'll be getting from, you'll be getting message or any query regarding this. You can ask your study center or Vikas Bhavan. They'll guide you. They'll tell you the date. I hope you get admit card also. I think. Fine.
Okay.
This is
So the
this is
classes are conducted right, like from last week we have started conducting our classes. So
yeah.
is it possible to that our exam will be held by December? It's not possible within 2 months.
I think it is been scheduled in December only. But better I am not the correct person to tell you. Fine. You
Yes,
have a study center. You must have a number of study center.
yes,
Fine.
sir.
In a working day, you can call. If at all you don't get study center to attend your call because due to this COVID and this thing, some school colleges are still closed. Colleges are closed. You can contact Vikas Bhavan. They will be working from Monday to Friday. So they'll be able to tell you the correct date of your examination. Fine.
Okay, sir. Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Any question regarding the subject? Devashmita, do you have any question?
No, sir.
So have you understood what I've spoken on HRD?
So yes, sir. I have understood.
Okay. You another one also with you, Arpuna Ghosh. Arpuna, are you getting me? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Are you understanding what I've spoken on HRD?
Yes. Yes.
Any question?
No, sir. Not right now.
Okay. So another time, 10 minutes time is there. So let me discuss. Fine. No issue.
No issue, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So are you working in any organization or you
Sir,
are a
I'm a
student only?
student.
You are a student, Madhu. Arpana, are you working anywhere?
I am now intern at the Origin, Kolkata, Kamakshi.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So there is, in case of government and public system also, HRD has developed a lot for last uh, maybe last 20 years. 20 years, yeah, more than 20 years. Because in every organizations now there is a HRD department. Before 20 25 years, fine. Many organizations, few organizations were having HRD department, and few organizations were still consisting with administrative department or personal department. But now almost in all organizations they have a HRD department, and in HRD department, fine. One second. One second. So now almost all the organizations are having HR department. Fine. Under them, they have personal department and administrative department because they have understood without human resource development they cannot survive. Because end of the day, manpower is everything. You may have hell lot of money, but if you do not have the proper organizational manpower, you cannot. You can see the differences. Some organizations are doing better in the society, some organizations are getting closed. Mukesh Ambani is doing better business, his own brother Anil Ambani could not. What is the difference? When Dhirubhai Ambani died, their mother, Kokilaben Ambani, has divided the property and the businesses almost 50-50. 50% was given to Mukesh Ambani, 50% was given to Anil Ambani. But the attitude of Anil and the attitude of Mukesh, there is a difference. The motivation of Mukesh and the motivation of Anil is different. The dedication, the confidence, the business strategies, the human resource development team of both these organizations were different, by which it has been seen that Mukesh Ambani is doing better day by day, it is improving, it is developing, it is making more profit, and at the same time Anil Ambani was losing, he became bankruptcy and losses the organizations. So you have to understand, behind everything it's not money, it's you, it's manpower. You understand, today's the latest news in India is Tata Group again going to get Air India back to them. It was their organization, they started, government had taken over, again they are taking it from the government. You can understand how strong they are. Strong in finance? No. Strong of human resource. Human resource is very essential. I do not know where you belong. If you belong to in Calcutta, maybe Maniktala, Shialda and all, if you go to that side, you can see there are many houses, double story, triple story, fourth stories building, and it is written by KMC, the building is dangerous to stay, anytime it can break, don't stay in this building. It is dangerous to stay. But this building was made by a doctor, by an engineer, or a barrister, or a professor, or a chartered accountant, maybe 200 years before. He was qualified, he was earning a lot of money, he was developed. His son was not able to do something, his grandson was also didn't do anything, and slowly, this generation-wise, these people are not able to maintain the building. Constructing a new building is different, but they are not able to maintain the building. So it is deteriorating, it is destroying. At the same time, some rickshaw puller was there in the time of that rich man, by the side of him who was staying in a slum. Now in that slum there is a big building because his grandchild or son of his grandchild is an engineer or a doctor or a professional who has made a very big building. You must have seen this by your own eyes. So you can understand that human resource development is very necessary. If you can make, the organization makes that generation, next generation stronger, so they can sustain. If they cannot sustain. You must have seen in many organizations. Some loss-making organization can become profit-making due to the best manpower they have. Today you talk about ITC. Once ITC was a loss-making company before 20-25 years. When YC Deveshwar taken over ITC, he made this loss-making organization as profit-making organizations. It is a human resource. This type of people, we call them as change agent. They change the organization. The human resource, they change the organization. So if you recruit or enroll a better human resource, your organization will develop. Just recruitment or enrolling the better people is a job of HR department. This is called human resource development. You have to understand the difference between man to man. Man means man to man, woman to woman, whatever it is. Means human resource to human resource, the difference. So with whom you will be interacting, with whom you will be working, with whom you will be recruiting, You have to understand his potentiality or her potentiality. So that potentiality or performance is very much necessary for any organization. That's why organization is ready to pay more salary to the potential employee. Some organization there the recruitment process run in stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, then the recruited person. They see every periphery of a human being. It is not only your qualification. I have seen in TCS, somebody has done MCA from IGNOU. He is in the topmost positions, and the people from good universities, those who have done MCA, they are working under this IGNOU person. IGNOU is a distance education. The Saturday evening and Sunday, the classes of IGNOU is being held. But then also, that individual was sitting on the top. His potentiality was different than the regular going students of other universities, the good premier universities or colleges. So human resource is main concern for any organization, and human resource development is very necessary for the individual and at the same time for the organization. So you may work in any organization, you have to see in that organization what type of manpower is getting involved. And if you are recruiting any manpower, you have to see what type of potentiality he or she has. Fine. If he or she doesn't have much, through a system called training, we can make them potential. Like Arundhati Bhattacharya, being an arts graduate, she became the bosses of chartered accountant, MBA finance, economist, and many more qualified persons are working in State Bank of India in senior position. Being only arts graduate, she became their boss. It was not a private organization that she is a founder and she became the MD. She started her journey from assistant manager to deputy manager, manager, senior manager, chief manager, assistant general manager, deputy general manager, chief general manager, deputy managing director, managing director. Then she became CMD of the biggest bank of India. This all was possible due to the system of State Bank of India, due to the HID system of State Bank of India, the career path State Bank of India shown to Arundhati Bhattacharya, and her eagerness to reach to the top was her own development and potentiality. She got banking knowledge from the training center of SBI through training procedure. There is a procedure called job rotation. She worked in many departments of bank, by which when she becomes CMD, she was able to cover and develop State Bank of India. In hard time, the IT was developed of State Bank of India drastically. Being an arts graduate, she was leading the ID team. So exactly, you have to understand this is very much necessary, because sometimes being an HR from HR department, you have to do manpower forecasting, and you have to look after the personal appraisals of the manpower, which is very much necessary. Fine. By this, I think we will have another classes tomorrow of MS22. Do you know the time of tomorrow's class?
Yes, sir.
It will be from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So you have only MS22 or you have MS21 also?
So 21 also.
Okay, I have a class in MS21 from 7 to 8. You must be knowing this.
Yes, sir.
So if you have time, you can join. Fine.
Sure.
Okay. So by this I'm ending MS22 today. We'll be talking again tomorrow. Fine. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you.